Alrighty, I just wanted to go over some, cool stuff that HLS has in it that I really like. I'm definitely not an expert at it, but these are things that I found that kind of got me away from LOR. All right, first of all, we're gonna create some channels here. I've got fans with 16 spires on them each. Um, we're only going to do 3 just to show you, some of the cool stuff it'll do. So we're going to add channels, and there's 25 actual channels in each fan, but we're only going to go 10 for this purposes. So we'll go 10. We'll add the channels, and we're going to name this Spire 1. Okay, now you'll see they're all named Spire 1, Spire 1, Spire 1, 2, Spire 1, 3, Spire 1, 4. We're going to add another 10. Going to name these 2. Okay, you'll see that now we've got 2, Spire 2, 1 through 10. We add one more. And this is just how fast you can add channels to HLS. Okay, so we've got 2. Now we go 3. There's, 3 spires of 10 each. Okay, we're going to make these RGB. These, the way they stand now, are just like straight DMX channels. You fade in, fade out. Obviously you can't change color. So, for an LED string, single color LED string, or AC or whatever, right now they sit as 1 channel each. But what we want to do is make these pixels. So I'll highlight under RGB here, right here. We'll click on this and drag this down all the way through, and then we're going to we'll set selection RGB flag. Okay, now they're all RGB. Okay, so we're done with that portion. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to make some display groups. Okay, our first display group is going to be Spire 1. Okay, so what we do here is now to put these into a work group, we're going to select our first 10 spires, and we're going to check those. And we're going to name this group Spire 1. Okay, we'll save that. And we'll go up and make another. And you can see Spire 1 came up here. What we want is a new one. And it'll bring up the same page. So now we want to select all the 2s, 1 through 10. Here's 1 through 10. And we'll check those. And we'll make that Spire 2. Save changes. I'll manage channels, and we'll do this again for Spire 3. That's the reason I didn't make this real long, or a lot of pixels, because it just takes up more time. And we'll get all 10 Spire 3s in this group. Okay. Whoops, I didn't check them. That'll bring up, it'll bring up a blank. I made a mistake, but it's easy to fix. We're going to modify Spire 3 and come down here and select those again. Spire 3. Really pretty simple. Now they're assigned to the work group, and we'll save changes. Okay, so we had Spire 3, so it came up Spire 3. What we want to do now, I'm going to change this resolution a little bit. I'm going to go from medium grid to a fine grid. And you can go very fine, which gets really small. But I'll show you that in a little bit. We'll go to a fine grid here. Now, we're going to make one more group. And it's going to be, let's make this one all spires. So if I had all 16 spires to work with and so forth, it'd be great. I could just assign them all to this same work group, all spires. Okay, so we'll just go down here and we'll select them all. Just because they're in one group doesn't mean you can't use them in another group. You can use these in as many groups as you want to. So we'll check all of this and we'll save changes to that. Now instead of, now we want to display them and work on them. So select display group to work on. Okay, let's do all spires. So there's spire 1, spire 2, spire 3. You're ready to rock and roll now. So just for giggles, let's make a 1 second ramp up. So I wanted to ramp up spiral 1 or spire 1 in red. Ramp up. And then spire 2, 1 through 10. Ramp up green. And spire 3, what we want to do is ramp up. Now, I could just make this blue, but I don't like the blue, so I'm going to change this right now. I can change the color anytime I want to, but what we'll do is come down here and we'll grab another color. We can go, color chart, pick that guy. Okay. So now if we click OK, now all these are purple or pink or whatever you want to call them, and we ramp up. So there you go. You got your colors in already. She's ready to do whatever you want to do. All right, let's make a real quick chase. Control click. Now when I control click, and I can let that the button I click, the left button up. This will stay. I'm not holding down the left button at all. This will stay with me as long as until I left click again. Now that's selected. Okay, I got to bring up my toolbar here. Now I can change the RGB color effects. I can chase RGB color vertical and horizontal. I'll get to that in just a little bit. But we're doing a chase, so what I'll do is I click on pull chase corner, and I click on it, and we can pull it anywhere we want. So we'll get those relatively equal. Okay, there you go. So that's how easy it is to make a chase. You can pull from this corner, this corner, this corner, or this corner. Makes really no difference. Okay, let's say that we want these to chase and they come on. They fade up in sequence. Alright, but I'm not happy. Escape will get you out of the selection box. And now we're gonna hit control and left click, and we're gonna make them stay on longer. Okay, which is really kind of a cool feature. You don't have to go through and do all of this to each one of them. So now that you've got your number of cells that you want to extend all taken care of, and you want you have the box where how big you want it, you can left click on or right click on inside the box here, and we'll perform an action on selected group, and we're going to fill to the right side of the selection box, so it'll fill all of this here with red. So now it comes on and stays on, and makes your dissolve a little longer. There are ways to take care of that too, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, let's say that we want these to come on, and they all of a sudden go off over here. Well, we don't want that, so let's do escape here, and then control click, come over here, and we'll do a copy. That's control C. Okay, now you can see where everything that's in the box is there. So, and it'll be copied. So we just click there and hit a Control V, and there you are right there. But it's still not the right way. And unlike LOR, we have the ability inside HLS to flip this. So let's go ahead and we select it. We right click inside the box and we flip horizontally. There you are. Now what we're going to do is we'll hit escape. You don't have to hit escape every time, but I'm going to for this demonstration, as long as it's highlighted. Okay, so I'm going to move the whole selection over. So, you know, you could have put that anywhere and got this effect and moved it anywhere you want. Okay, so that's really kind of a neat little thing to do. Now, when you're sequencing, I don't like to bother with having to worry about what colors I'm using, because I've got enough problems just trying to get everything timed right and the way that I want it. So I generally, I don't know, I just pick a color. It'd be red, green, blue, whatever color I happen to have. Okay. Later, I can come back in here and I can say, okay, I want to escape, so that's there. Now we hit Control and we'll pick that. Now, if we want to, we can change this any color you want. If we wanted to make this red, it's already red. If we wanted to make it blue, we'll just go to the color wheel here and we'll make it that color just for giggles. All right. So you hit OK. Now, when you hit Change RGB Color Effect, it'll change to the color you selected. All right. Another cool thing is to be able to size each one of these. If you just click on the back end of it, you can size these any way you want. If you click on the front of this, you can move it anywhere you want. So that's really kind of cool. But that's a nice little feature to have. So especially if you're trying to get down to, timing. You can also make it shorter if you want. So you have really complete control over what you want to do. Okay. Alrighty, we've copied the groups. We've done that. Okay, another neat thing is that if you wanted to, this is kind of a neat feature here. Okay, so now I want to chase. It's just one color. I don't want one color. So we're going to chase this vertical. So what we want to do is pick our colors, and we're going to go from green to light blue. Okay, so that's our start and that's our end color. And you can make this wheel go clockwise or counterclockwise. We'll just leave it clockwise. Okay. So we hit OK here, and that'll show us our color. And then we're going to do chase RGB vertical. And you'll see, it's green to blue vertically. And let's go down to this other one here. And I'm hitting escape, each time I go to select something else. Escape is your friend. And that's because, I'll just show you, that's because if you just click on the head here, it's going to move it. Okay. If you click on the rear end, you're just going to do this. In order to select a group, and you have your first cell selected in a group, you have to hit Control and then click down here. Okay. Now, dismiss my toolbar. Okay. So now we want to do this horizontally. So I'll do this. We'll go from this, to yellow. What the heck? Just to make them different. Okay. And we want to chase horizontal. So we go from, and we're fading up too, so it really doesn't show a whole lot. But we're going from red to let me do a real quick little guy here, and if it's just a level that we want. So now select this, control left click, and now you can see that better. Okay, another couple little things to do here is in your time resolution. I do everything at 50 milliseconds because that's what X-Lights uses. X-Lights is going to be going to 25 milliseconds, so that's really nice. And now we can go to our different size grids. You know, if you want to get down to nitty gritty or you're not real steady, that's a good grid to have. You know, and you just have to scroll down to see each thing. But if you're working with a really large whole bunch of channels all at once, you can do your very fine grid. But you'll see it's really hard. It's really hard to figure out exactly where you are if you want it right here, you know, and want this here. So Joe's made it easy to make a default where you can turn on a crosshair. So now you've got a crosshair. So now you know, now I can tell exactly where I'm at. I'm at roll 1 and I'm at 3.5. Yeah, roll 1, 3.5. It's still a little rough, but and you can just draw that. You want to get down to 10 and you want to go to 4.5. You know, and then we fill that. And, you know, the crosshairs are really handy to have. There's two ways to delete. One is just with the delete button. If you do that and you're doing a whole bunch of channels, and you're deleting a whole bunch of, you know, cues out of your display here, the delete takes quite a while. Well, I mean, it takes a while. There's another one that says it's fast delete. I'll show you that one real quick here. Escape's your friend. If you go here, and it'll have delete selection, caution, no checks made. Well, it just goes through and wipes it out. Whatever you've selected, it wipes out, and there's no checks. With the other one, it'll ask you if, well, I don't know if it'll ask you. But anyway, this one's a lot faster. But instead of bringing this up all the time, you have a way of doing this to default to a quick delete. Let's see, I know. Okay, turn on off fast deletes right there. And now that turns your delete key into one of the fast delete keys. And it won't ask you anything. It won't prompt you. Whatever you decide to delete is gone. Now, if you make a big mistake, HLS always, if you make a big mistake and you catch it, then the easiest way to recoup what you've just done, first of all, when you start to do a real big edit or a big change, it's best to save the program before you do it. Then if you mess up, what you would do, it would be just to get out of the program here, you know, and don't save it. Then go back, start HLS again, reload the program you're working on, and it'll be back to, you know, where you were before you messed up. Okay, face animation, it really has some really nice animation features for your faces. You can do a matrix face relatively easy. The hardest part is mapping out all the channels you want for your mouth movements. It'll do a number of faces. I can't remember what the maximum is, but I have one that's 7 faces. You can manage your iChannels separately if you want. Uh, you can do a lot of really nice stuff within HLS. So that makes it a lot nicer just to have one tools rather than having to go out to Papagayo and do anything with it. Okay, I think pretty well covered. Let's see, I got a little list here. Oh yeah, custom effects. Uh, you can, uh, this is the type of effect you want. Say you want a shimmer, and how long you want it. I usually just make it one cell because, uh, or well, if you're gonna do say like a sparkle, I'd do 25 cells, and but it'll still be predicated by how long you make the custom effect, so it'll just fill in whatever it's got. Okay, and your start value, if you're doing shimmer, they'd just be on and off and so forth. Level value and that type of thing. So, and you can name each, each custom effect. Okay, that's just real quick. I'm not going to go through it because it can get a little hairy. It's not hard, but I'm trying to keep this as fast as I can. All right, some of your defaults you can ramp up. Now you have your choice. You can start at if this is a ramp up, you can start at 0 and only go up to 50%, or you can go up from 10% up to 80%, whatever you want. It's fine. Ramp down. You can start value at your 50% and go down to 0. If you just want your effect to go from 50% down to 0. So that helps with matrix a lot of times because the matrix is so bright. And then just your level intensity, that's this right up here. When you go there, you can make these just 50% if you want to, or you can make a specific value in DMX, which is fine. Okay, so let's see, anything else? Crosshairs, color wheel. Setting audio level, I haven't done any of that, so I really can't tell you much about that. Anyway, I don't want to make this any longer, so I've covered really the basic stuff that I wanted to cover. It's really some neat stuff that I know LOR can't do some of this stuff, and it's one of the reasons that I was with LOR for 3 years, and I just couldn't take it anymore. Your channels are super simple to set up. You'll notice here that we'll go here that your universe, there's no universes assigned, there's nothing. You don't have to worry about your universes at all. Your universes, your channels, your IP addresses or anything until you're actually done sequencing. You can do that and set up your visualizer without having any of that assigned, which is really nice because at a later date, if you add to your display, you can insert whatever control or whatever additions or subtractions you can, and it won't affect your program at all. These will all go with wherever I move Spire 1, 2, 3, 2 and 3, or 16 or whatever. If they're set up on my first 682 card, and I move into my second 682 card, I can do that in when I set up my channels, and it doesn't affect any of my sequencing. So it makes it really simple to do, and that'll probably be another video. Anyway, I've gone on long enough, so anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the stuff that HLS would do, and hope you have fun with it.